But I thought it was interesting, as this is going on, look at this article. Kudos to Vice on this one. I don't always love Vice, but White House acknowledges the U.S. is at war with 7 countries. 7 countries we're at war with. I'll read you a little bit. The U.S. is officially fighting wars in 7 countries, including Libya and Niger, according to an unclassified White House report sent to Congress this week and obtained by the New York Times. Known officially as the Report on the Legal and Policy Framework Guiding the United States Military Force and Related National Security Operations, the document is part of a new requirement outlined in the 2018 Defense Spending Bill. So, where is the U.S. at war? Though President Trump campaigned on a more isolationist foreign policy platform, he's largely expanded or reinvigorated his predecessor's conflicts in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, Somalia, Libya, and Niger. The report gives the clearest indication to date of America's most pressing military conflicts under Trump, largely detailing an uptick in direct and indirect combat, as well as, quote, advise and assist operations across regions. Advise and assist my behind. We have troops there, quote unquote, advising and assisting. In Afghanistan, the U.S. continues its 16-year-old long battle against the Taliban, the Haqqani Network, Al-Qaeda, and the Islamic State, even though Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State are all over the damn globe, and their heaviest concentration is not in Afghanistan, but hey, we got to spread democracy, right, folks? In Somalia, the U.S. more than doubled its use of airstrikes against al-Qaeda offshoot al-Shabaab in 2017, as more recently has targeted the Islamic State, according to the Bureau of Investigative Journalism. The report acknowledges the U.S. has conducted airstrikes against the Islamic State in Libya, but makes no mention of the small number of U.S. troops known to be operating in the country. And if you recall, under Hillary Clinton's just brilliant advice to President Obama, we went into Libya to topic a brutal dictator, Muammar Gaddafi, and now Libya is a goddamn mess. Oop, demonetized, accursed. Can't help myself. I'm going to keep it real. Sorry, YouTube. Libya is a mess. We took out one awful leader and replaced him with another, which the U.S. has a little tendency to do over the last 60 or 70 years. Would you agree? It's unbelievable. So, who else are we at war with? Let's see. We are at war with Somalia. We are at war in Niger. The report says the U.S. troops were deployed to assist Nigerian troops and ended up in 2 firefights with, quote, elements assessed to be part of ISIS. As the New York Times points out, the report also acknowledges for the first time a second firefight in Niger beyond the October 4th ambush that left 4 U.S. soldiers dead. Under what authority? Well, the details revealed in this new report are likely to reinvigorate long-held concerns about the perceived overuse of the AUMF, the Authorization for U.S. Military Force, the sweeping post-9/11 legislation U.S. presidents have used to expand existing wars or enter new conflicts without congressional approval. So let's remember, right now, on CNN, on MSNBC, in the pages of the New York Times, all this, we are hysterical. We are hysterical about our democracy being under attack. Yet our democracy has been under real attack, because we don't actually have one, since 2000, well, actually way before 9/11. But I'd say when presidents go to war illegally, that's not exactly cheerleading for democracy. When citizens are illegally surveilled and your data is stolen and your privacy is infringed upon, is that not an attack on democracy we should focus on? Interesting. So, where else? Where else are we at war? The Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is in Washington, D.C. today and has been talking to President Trump. Well, what does President Trump want out of Saudi Arabia, who the U.S. has been supplying weapons to to basically murder and assassinate and commit genocide in Yemen for the last, I believe, 2.5, 3 years. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is in Washington, D.C. Tuesday and will likely talk to President Donald Trump about something the Saudis have wanted for a long time, a nuclear energy program. The Saudi pursuit of nuclear energy has long made observers nervous, but it grabbed headlines last week after bin Salman told CBS News that if Iran were to build a nuclear bomb, so would Saudi Arabia. And by the way, I watch the corporate media, so you don't have to. I've seen some pretty awful interviews in my day, both when I was at Fox, when I was at MSNBC, when I was at the Young Turks watching the corporate media. The CBS 60 Minutes interview, if you want to call it an interview with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, was a crime against journalism. You want to talk about crimes against humanity? It was a crime against journalism. Norah O'Donnell, who is, I believe, she is the co-anchor of CBS This Morning. She's a correspondent for 60 Minutes. Might as well put a mattress down for the Crown Prince, fluffed his pillow, and basically asked him, what's your favorite color? And what's your thoughts on the Kardashians versus The Bachelor? It was an embarrassment. Literally, you have the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia on. I think they spent 2 minutes on what the UN and others say is the worst form of genocide in the world, in Yemen. 2 minutes they spent on it. The rest was asking, what did you learn from your father? And talking about how women now could drive in Saudi Arabia, which is terrific. Terrific. But it was basically a giant softball puff piece for Saudi Arabia. And who might be partnering and merging with CBS soon? Viacom. Be interesting to see. Who does Viacom donate money to? What is Viacom? Do they have any interest in Saudi Arabia? I'll have to follow up on that. I just thought of that. Because it's all about the money, baby. All about the money. As Jessica says, PR piece for Saudi Arabia. The United States of Arabia, Chobacco says. I love your guys' YouTube names. It's so creative. Yeah, we are. We're the United Corporations of America. I use that first, followed by the United States of Oil. And maybe I'll go with the United States of Arabia. So, Trump has basically openly said that he is bidding, the United States is now bidding with other countries to supply Saudi Arabia with more nuclear energy. So I'll read you the rest of this piece so you could see how we are basically going to war so we could enrich ourselves and plutocrats, and we're letting basically, I think 10,000 people have died in Yemen, not to mention the famine and starvation. The Saudi pursuit of nuclear energy has long made observers nervous, but it grabbed headlines last weekend after bin Salman told CBS News that if Iran were to build a nuclear bomb, so would Saudi Arabia. Quote, this is the Saudis saying openly what we have known for a long time, said Ryan Turner, a senior risk analyst at consultancy PGI Group. Saudi Arabia's desire for a civilian nuclear program cannot be separated from the rivalry with Iran. For around 5 years now, the Saudis have been in informal negotiations with the U.S. and other countries that could sell it nuclear reactors with the stated aim of diversifying its energy base. And in February, the kingdom recruited American lobbying firm Pillsbury Winthrop Shaw Pittman, say that 5 times, as an advisor on the legal issues surrounding developing a commercial nuclear program. The catch? Saudi Arabia is refusing to accept a deal that would forbid it from enriching uranium and reprocessing plutonium, the mechanisms necessary not for nuclear energy, but developing a weapon. And the U.S. may not be able to afford to walk away. If it does, warns Turner, quote, they will pursue alternative suppliers such as China or Russia because they feel the program is needed in part to keep pace with Iran. So, let me break that down for you, for dummies, and keep it real. So, the Trump administration, and by the way, the Obama administration before, why you start seeing all these nuclear power plants popping up. There's one that water protectors are fighting in Tacoma, Washington right now. There's others popping up in the Midwest, and they're talking about, oh, it's bringing jobs. Yeah, it's also bringing nuclear energy that is dangerous to the environment and the groundwater. And you also see that the Saudi prince, who CBS 60 Minutes might as well have given him a massage and fluffed his pillow, they want uranium. Well, who's mining for uranium in the United States of America? And who's allowing them to mine for uranium all over the damn place? Including now, they are shrinking Bears Ears National Monument, sacred to the Native Americans in Utah, so that they could drill, baby, drill, and mine for uranium. So we could hand it off to Saudi Arabia. So that the United States of Oil, the United Corporations of America, the United States of Arabia, as my friend in the chat said, can make more money. Who cares about the groundwater, right? Who cares about the environment? By the way, Native American reservations and tribes that are near uranium mines have some of the highest cancer rates in the United States of Oil. But who cares about the Native Americans, right? It's all about the oil, as Trump has said.